If you have a question, please raise your hand and I'll call on you. Steve, do you have a question?
Yeah, let me get situated there. Hey, Jaylin, how are you?
Good, are yourself?
Doing all right. Got a question for a professional soccer player. Your team is playing well, but you're not getting the results that you want. First, do you feel, I mean, I think the team has been playing well. Is that something that you agree with or not? Give me your opinion on that. And then how, as a professional athlete, you're dealing with, if you do agree that y'all are playing well, how do you deal with not getting the results at this time?
Yeah, I agree. We've been playing, really well as a team, and obviously, it gets tough towards the end of the season. When we're trying to, fight for playoffs and stuff like that. But at the same time, I think we're really calm in the sense of the way we play. There's just a little bit, teeny bits of things that we need to still work on. Maybe things just in the attacking third, and maybe things that defensively as well. If we just fix those correctly and kind of more execute kind of like more of the game plan within those games, I feel like we come away with more points than what we got. As a professional dealing with that kind of stuff, like when we play well and not get the results, it's pretty tough. Like, you go out there and for 90 minutes, you feel like the team played so well. You create so many chances, you have great, defensive stops, great defensive plays. And then, you come out with, a team that, they have 2 or 3 chances and, they come away with both those chances, and it's kind of like devastating a little bit. So at the same time, soccer is a learning game, and I think all sports are. So it's just about, going back and looking at the film and, seeing kind of where we went wrong and kind of making up those mistakes a little bit and getting better at them. So.
Yeah, it's definitely a sport where scoring is precious and not happen that much unless you're the Philadelphia Union or Man City these days. But what were, like, coming into this season, what were your objectives? What would you consider to be a successful season, and where does it stand compared to that now?
Yeah, so I think in the beginning of the season, we're a new team. We have a lot of new guys from different cultures, different areas, and we're still in the process of trying to build that culture within this club. So for me, I think the main goal that I had personally for the team was to get to the playoffs. I feel like that's just a great first step within this club, to make playoffs, and hopefully we can only get better from that. So and as of right now, we're in a bit of a situation where these last 5 games, they really count. And I think, these next 5 games, we need to go out there and, make the most of, all the points that we can get. And then, hopefully we get the playoffs. And I believe that we can make playoffs. So it's just about going to execute, all in those 5 games.
What about for you personally? What were your objectives coming in, and how close are you to what that was?
Yeah, so my main goal coming in here to this club was to kind of be a regular within the team, especially just, in the starting 11 a little bit. Had a little bit ups and downs, but at the same time, soccer is a team sport. Obviously, whether I'm playing or not, it's also about just being a team player and supporting your teammates no matter what. Because it's not just about myself, it's about the team. And in order to make playoffs or make championships, we're going to need everybody in the squad, and no matter what. So and also kind of my main goal with, especially my last 4 years at KC, I guess not getting as much games under my belt within those seasons over there, but with this season, I think I played in probably 25 or 26 games this season. And I think that's just kind of the next progressive step within my career so far. So I say as of right now, at this moment, I think I'm pretty happy and satisfied with myself of how I've progressed throughout the season. And hopefully there's more to come the next season after that.
Great, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Alex, go ahead.
Hey, Jaylin. Hope you're doing well. What as you said, you're entering the final couple matches of the year. At what point do you, and you've been in MLS for a long time, at what point do you look like I don't want to say cut your losses, but at what point do you look ahead to next year and be like, okay, like this is our situation now, but next year we're going to be this?
I mean, I think as of right now, I think that will only come about, once we know, how, if we make playoffs or not. Because as of right now, our main focus right now is, we have the belief as a team and with the coaching staff that we have that chance to make playoffs. So as of right now, our only main goal right now is to make playoffs. And I think the only chance of that is when we look forward to next year is, whether how the games go or not. If we're eliminated from playoffs, then I think that's kind of for me, would be more towards, okay, let's look forward to next year. But at the same time, no matter how many games we have left, we got to finish out the season strong and, show that, we're still a good team at the end of the day. Like, no matter, like, if we're not playoffs or if we're in playoffs, like, we still have to show that we're a good team. So I think just getting towards, the end of the last couple of games is when I would say we kind of look forward to next year and say, hey, like, this is our goals for next year. And we go over that because, like, we still have a season to play. We still have some as of right now. So that's kind of our main focus as of right now. So that's kind of my answer for that one.
Yeah, no, definitely. Also, in one of Steve's first questions, you answered, he asked about what's it like playing well, but not getting the results you wanted. And you said you were like one or two mistakes away in every game or whatever. I can't exactly remember how you said it. What are those mistakes? Like, if you, like, as a player, if you could isolate a couple of issues, what are they?
I would say one, I think it's just specifically, just on the defensive side, just kind of like little mistakes that, we do so well in training. And then it's just kind of like when we get on the field, it's those mistakes, happen in the games.
Yeah.
And I think that's just one, big thing is that we have to, in order to be a good team, we have to be very solid defensively and cut out those mistakes. I would just say, I mean, maybe it's just, I don't know, like, let's say misclearances, or if they're, not marking up on, corner kicks or free kicks, or just like little things like that we just have to fix. And like, that's just all a mentality thing at the end of the day. If we just fix those, I feel like we come away with results out of those games. And I think the other one is just trying to execute and, kind of finish in the final third. Because I feel like we create so many chances, which is so good for our team. Like, we're so good going forward. And then it's like we get into the attacking third and we can't execute the way we want to. And I think that at the end of the day, that can come back to haunt us in the end of the day in the game, especially because that can, obviously scoring a goal or, not letting a goal in that we could prevent can change the entire game. So I think it's just kind of those two aspects of the game. But like I said, soccer is a whole team sport. And I mean, you're going to need, offensive, defensively, we need the defenders, we need the goalkeeper, defenders, midfield, and the forwards as well. So we're just going to need everybody.
Yeah. Just to re-ask the question essentially that Steve asked, is that frustrating that one or two goals can just not only change the course of a match, but can change a season?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, because it's like at the end of the day, like, you don't want to come back from games with regrets at all. But when we have little mistakes, like that, I mean, but it's not just this past couple games. It's kind of been, over the course of the season. But like I said, this is our first year. We're all still learning, with each other and with the coaching staff. So it's just like this season has been like a very good, learning season for all of us. And I think as we fix these, I feel like we just come away with so much points. And like, obviously, like I said, it's frustrating, but you live and you learn, right? So it's just all about moving forward and just like fixing mistakes and getting better.
Thanks, Jaylin.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Mike, go ahead.
Hey, Jaylin, how you doing, man? Good to see you again.
Good. How about yourself?
Well, thank you. In talking with Christian recently, he has kind of made the overtures of, he wants you guys to win games, But at the same time, it's tough as an expansion side because you're also trying to build club identity and club culture and that sort of thing. How difficult of a balance is that? Because as a player, look, we just want to win, get to 3 points and move on and add them all up at the end and see if it makes a playoff run. But I mean, how tough is that balance to walk, do you think?
I mean, yeah, it's a bit hard, but I mean, I agree on those lines because, you know, I mean, pretty much almost every club in this league has the identity a little bit. I mean, you look at the top teams, and they kind of have their identity, like the way they want to play and stuff like that, and they execute it very well. You know, I think at the same time, I think especially the expansion side, you're trying to come into this league and show that you're able to keep up with the rest of the league right away. And I think that's what we want to do, especially with us comes with our culture as well. We want to show that like this is kind of our identity of play. And you know, we're gonna either execute it, whether if it's at home or in away games as well. So I think that's just a big thing is showing that what our identity is, because that can just really dictate, even determine how a game can go beforehand as well, like the way we play and stuff like that. At the same time, I think we do need I guess just a little bit more of just trying to go out, you know, whether if it's, you know, dirty or if it's, you know, whether it's the way we want to play, to go out and just try to get 3 points and try to do whatever we can possible. You know, it might not look pretty, it might look pretty, you know what I mean? So it's just about going out there and doing all that we can to get 3 points. So obviously it's a little bit hard to balance, but at the same time, it comes with trying to create the identity first and then come with second, just trying to win games at the same time, no matter what. So.
And kind of following up on that, do you feel, I mean, you've been with the club all season long. Do you feel that you guys have taken on an identity? Do you guys feel like you have established a foundation for what Charlotte FC can be going forward?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think, and that's why, like when I come back when I was talking to Alex about the mistakes, it's like, I mean, those are like those mistakes that just come with that are not our identity a little bit, and that those are kind of things outside that are just straight mental side of the game. But I mean, like you guys said, like we play really well. We're just not coming away with results, but you can see our kind of progression of how, you know, we keep possession of the ball, we play really well, and it's just finding those little things that we can do to try to win games. It's just about whether it's, you know, putting the ball back in the net, no matter if we're shooting from 30 yards out or if it's in the 6-yard box. Like, I mean, we have to try to do what we can possible to try to win games, especially on the defensive side as well, is, you know, to fight, be fearless, and, you know, try to prevent the ball back in the net at the same time. So, you know, we're progressing, I think, in the right direction. You know, and hopefully these next 5 games we can show that we can go out there and just, you know, get goals and get clean sheets and, you know, get 3 points out of hopefully each and every game.
And last one for me, with that in mind, 5 to go, and you guys get NYCFC this week. You've already seen them, you've already beaten them at their place. What, you know, what's the thumbnail sketch on them as you, and I apologize if you've already answered a look ahead on this week's match, but is there something there that you guys see that you can replicate, something new that they've changed that you might have to deal with, and kind of a advanced scouting report on the weekend?
I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously we have, you know, scouting reports on them and seeing kind of how the way they, you know, like, you know, build out and stuff like that. And just kind of like normal things that, you know, we go through on the daily basis whenever we face an opponent on the weekend. You know, but at the same time, I go back to, you know, it's all about the club first, how our identity, and it's about, you know, how are we going to try to, you know, figure out how, like, beat their press, and how are we going to attack against them? How are we going to defend against them defensively first, before, you know, going and focusing on them like second. And then, you know, obviously they have great individual players. Like you said before, we beat them already at their place, and it's kind of just trying to do the same thing that we did before then. And, you know, hopefully we kind of execute on the weekend.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Great, Caleb, go ahead.
Hey, Jaylin, hope you're doing well. I just wanted to ask you a bit about Latanzio's thoughts on mentality. In the your previous 2 matches, he mentioned that boosting the mentality of the team was the main priority. I just wanted to get an idea of what he's telling you guys in terms of your mentality, and what specifically he means by that, with how you see that.
Yeah, when he's talking about just mentality, it's just about just trying to keep the morale within, our team, like kind of around the facility on a high a little bit because, I mean, this is a time this season where, I mean, these 5 games are like kind of like winner go home matches. So, we have to, especially with the last 2 games being losses, we can't sit there and kind of like, dwell on it a little bit. We have to, keep our head up and keep focusing on what we can control. These last 5 matches are so important and we need to, figure out ways to go and win these games no matter what and try to make the playoffs. 'Cause that's kind of our main goal from the beginning of the season. And I think we're all just every player and staff member, we're all hungry for that kind of goal. So that's just kind of what he means by that. And then also just bringing, intensity to the training no matter what, because, how we train and during the week is going to determine how we are on the weekend. So it's just about bringing 100% intensity to each and every training session every day. So.
Great. Thank you so much. Good luck this weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll end it with Sam.
Hey, Jaylin, thanks for talking to us today.
Sam, you're breaking up a bit.
First
Sam,
question is, I think a lot of us have. Can you hear me?
Sam, can you repeat your
Can you hear me?
question? Yeah, we can hear you now.
How about now? Is now better?
Yep.
Okay. So Jaylin, thanks for being with us. First question is, obviously we have seen what I feel has been not as great performance from the team since you lost Guzman against Chicago. Can you speak to what losing Guzman on the back line means for the team?
Yeah, obviously Goose was a big part of our team. He was kind of also one of our leaders on our team. And obviously when you lose one of your leaders on this team, it's kind of heartbreaking a little bit because, obviously he put, each and every game, his heart and soul into every kind of roll of the ball. And obviously losing him was, a big impact, but these types of things happen within the season. Players, there's injuries happen, and anything can happen during the season, but I feel like we do have the players, that in the squad. And that's why I go back to everyone's important on this team. I mean, no matter what, I mean, obviously injuries happen, and I think we do have players that can fill that role, pretty well. Obviously Guzman's, very unique. He's a great player. But at the same time, we have a lot of depth with this team to, obviously go out there and still get results at the same time. So, like I said, like losing Guzman was a big loss. But we do have the depth and we do have, the good enough players to, go out there and get the job done as well. So.
Thank you. Speaking of depth, you've had 2 internationals join the back line since the transfer period. How are they integrating into the team and how's working with them?
Oh, they're doing fantastic. Like, obviously Adil has played in the last couple of matches and he's done like fantastic. Like he's pretty much just came over and adapted so well to this league already. And he's played so well, especially he's 20 years old and, he looks like he's been in the league for so long now. And he's been great. And then obviously Nathan has been adapting very well and he's a wonderful player. And obviously he plays right back as well. So, learning from him, he has a lot of experience playing overseas and learning from him has been great so far as well. And, they've done their best to try to adapt so far. Obviously we have a couple games left. So, it's almost coming to an end a little bit, but they've done a really good job coming here and adapting so quickly and adapting with the style of play. So they've done well so far.
And then finally, I think you hit the nail on the head that, it's win or go home at this point, and the playoffs are still mathematically possible, but it does look like going undefeated the final 5 games is probably the way to do it. So, how do you do that? How do you bring that mentality to the pitch? What are you looking for from yourself and your teammates for these final 5 games?
I think it's just all about 100% fight at the end of the day. We have to go out there and especially with these games. And if once we go to the playoffs, it's going to be one of those things where every roll of the ball counts. Like no matter if it's a pass back or if it's a pass forward or if it's a cross, like every kind of action counts within the game. And we're going to need everybody 100% focused. We're going to need everybody to fight for each other, obviously do your job as like on the field as well, but, try to help the guy next to you as well. And it's just all about communication. And I think it's just all about us having the resilience to go out there and just try to win no matter, who we're playing. We might play, bigger teams that have already made playoffs already, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like we know who we are as, Charlotte FC, and we have to go out there and show them that, we're capable of making playoffs and that we can do it. So we just need everybody to kind of believe and have that fight and, be 100% focused within the next 5 matches.
Thanks, Jaylin. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. We'll send this out shortly and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Jaylin.